Been a while, obviously, since a lot of our fans have been able to catch up with you. It's been a long off season, another unfortunate long off season, and you've stayed around here in the Charleston area. But first of all, how's your summer been?
It's been good. It's funny you said it's been a long off season. It feels that way. It's I've been working on a laboratory job in the off season and just kind of working out to stay in shape. But it feels like it's definitely been about 5 months it'll be before we get the skates back on for real, and I'm looking forward to it, and I think this year's going to become with a lot of exciting changes, but I think that it's going to be for the better.
Have you been able to take any vacation time, maybe go back home to Seattle a little bit or anything like that?
Things have been pretty busy, actually. We haven't been back to Seattle yet this summer. A few weddings. Everybody's doing the married thing now as you get a little older, and we'll be heading back. Actually, I became an uncle on Sunday, so my older brother and his my sister-in-law, they just had a daughter, and her name is Noelle. So Lauren, my wife, and I are both pretty psyched about that, and we'll be going back at the end of the month. But we bought a house in West Ashley in June, and that's pretty much been like taking up all of our time. I've been running a hockey camp with Spencer Carbery and Nate Kaiser, and that's definitely been keeping us going here.
And how has it? I know that was something you were taking a lot of pride in, as being a homeowner here in the Charleston area, and I had the opportunity to come over here and check it out. You're very proud of this place, the creativity you can do with it. How's that going, as opposed to living in the apartments?
The creativity part definitely falls under the realm of Mrs. Scherer, so I'm not really taking any responsibility for that, but it's more of a, if she likes it, then let's go for it. That's dynamite, yeah. But trying to get everything in order, it's definitely been a bit of a challenge, and moving from a one-bedroom apartment to a house is a lot different. I'm sure those who have experienced it know exactly what I'm talking about, but there's nothing that really prepares you for it. You think you're going to move your stuff in and it'll be fine, but we've been here a little over a month now, and I'm still like pulling my hair out because I can't get everything tightened up.
Has it kind of settled in, though, a little bit that, this is your property? I know Nate Kaiser takes a lot of great pride in his lawn, and he always likes to brag about it everywhere he goes, and I know that's something that you wanted to maybe provide a little competition for.
Anybody that's ever talked to Nate about his house or his yard knows that it is the Augusta National of grasses, and I think he's actually hiring out for lawn service if anybody's interested, but we moved in, we got the new sod and everything, and I'm trying to get it green, but then I'm getting like text messages from Nate talking about how great his grass is and pictures and the whole 9 yards. So yeah, we got to give it a summer. I think that he owes me that, but then we'll see if we can't get into the competition a little bit next year. But after being in the low country for the last 4 years, it's it's a place that doesn't take long to grow on you. So coming from Seattle, I think that's a beautiful area, and then kind of moving around the country for hockey and juniors and college, and coming down here, it's definitely a no-brainer that this is one of the, if not the best place to play, minor league hockey. I don't really know if I've seen a place that's better. So to be able to play a sport that I love and have what I feel is probably the best job in the world, and be able to own a house at the same time is really a dream come true.
I know another thing that's been pretty rewarding for you and your wife, and you being known as a family man, is that your wife recently took up a position with a local church and helping out the youth, and I know that's something that you've always enjoyed doing as well, so it kind of adds to the overall glow of living in the Charleston area.
Yeah, certainly. A little bigger family, not that we don't have enough friends with within the Stingrays organization and our great fans, but we're both members of St. Andrew's Presbyterian Church, and she in January became the director of Christian education over there. So she's been heading up the youth and the Sunday school and Bible studies, and all summer she's been actually really busy too. So after we finished up with things on the house, she's running back and forth doing mission trips and vacation Bible school and what have you, conferences. So I've been able to jump in. We actually had the kids over last night for a movie theater night, and just kind of goofed around, and they dirtied the place up a little bit and watched some TV. So it's been fun though, and a really great and rewarding experience, I would say.
And even though it has been a crazy summer with you and your wife, and the new house and the new jobs and getting a summer job, I understand that you were able to have some family come down here and visit you for a little bit, so at least got to catch up a little bit.
Yeah, my little sister actually came into town. Gosh, I want to say we closed on a Friday. We had Saturday, Sunday to move everything over, and then she came on Monday, and she's been actually working as a teacher on a military base in Bahrain, which is over there in the Gulf, so Persian Gulf. And she came, and we had nothing. I mean, I'm talking mattresses on the ground, no furniture, and nothing. So, and we were working every day, so I'm sure it was a fantastic vacation for her. She comes into an empty house, and we're like, "Hey, you think you mind putting all that stuff away, or that, or empty some boxes?" And
put it to work.
But she was a good sport about it, and she's actually out in Seattle right now. So hopefully we'll be crossing paths before she has to head back.
Now, it doesn't feel like it, and like you mentioned too at the beginning of this interview, the summer has gone on a little long, but now's kind of that interesting time diving into the hockey portion where things are really starting to pick up and things are starting to happen, and it all started not too long ago, and I wanted to get your thoughts on, with head coach Cail MacLean moving on to the American Hockey League with the Abbotsford Heat. I know you and him worked very close together over these past couple of seasons, and it had to be a nice thrilling feeling for you knowing that he was moving to the next level.
Yeah, I couldn't be happier for Cail. He was a guy that playing alongside, and he was the captain my first year, and certainly stepping into the assistant coaching role, and then the head coach for the past 2 years. He's been a guy that certainly knows the game very well. He's a student of hockey, and he's one of those guys that you don't want to fail. And it's unfortunate that we're losing him. It would be great to have him, but I wish him nothing but the best, and he's a good friend of mine, and I think he's a heck of a guy, and I think he's going to do really well at the next level.
And with that, more breaking news came as another former teammate of yours and assistant coach, Spencer Carbery, became the next head coach for the South Carolina Stingrays. And I know that was something that's close to you and Spencer have been friends, have been teammates, and he was over here for your housewarming party, so you guys are very close, so it'll be interesting to work with him now.
Yeah, it's just as Cail's getting promoted, I couldn't be happier for Spencer either, and he's a guy who wears his heart on his sleeve. He's practically a hockey DB of knowing players and what they contribute and bring to the table, and even having the opportunity to have played with them for a couple of years and being on the same line and grinding it out and having our successes and failures, and I think it's going to be a challenge for him, but I think he's more than ready, and Cail's done everything to prepare him for the upcoming year. And just in talking with him a few times about the advancement and everything, I feel very confident that the Rays are in good hands, and being an older guy, I think it's only going to help contribute to building leadership in the locker room too, that the older guys will be able to step in and help him out where needed. But I don't consider this a void, or I think he's going to be ready to step in, and we're going to be firing at all angles here.
Cail, of course, was the captain when you first came in here, and he was the leader of the team. Now you're the captain, and Spencer Carbery is the head coach. Is it going to be different or weird in any way, knowing that Spencer, a former teammate of yours, is the head coach, especially when you guys are the same age?
It is. Well, he's an 81 and I'm an 82.
Oh,
so
okay.
Technically, he's a little older, but I think you think about things like that when you first hear, but having had Cail as a teammate for a year, and then him moving into the reins, and as far as our relationship goes, it's always been very respectful, and I don't foresee anything changing there. That what he says is word, and I think that he's not going to be reinventing the wheel out there. Everybody knows what their job is, and he's going to be contributing the qualities that he has, that why we're bringing him in. And it's not going to be like, I don't foresee there being any difference between, the boss is the boss regardless of who's wearing that hat, and I think enough guys respect Spencer for if they played with him, for what he did when they were on his team, and for what he did last year as an assistant coach. And I think what he's going to bring to the table as a head coach is going to be nothing but positive and beneficial to those that are, whether you're moving up the line trying to get to Hershey or move up to Washington, or you're looking for a Kelly Cup. I think that anybody that comes in here is going to benefit from what he knows.
Do you think it changes the personal relationship between you two at all?
I don't think it changes it too much. Obviously, there is somewhat of a separation, and you're not palling around in the locker room and making jokes or cutting each other down in front of the team. There is a respect factor, but as far as he and I go, I don't think anything changes. I'm not gonna, he's gonna be the boss, but at the same time, he's my friend, and I respect what he says.
And of course, you guys are such great friends that he wanted you to join this team so bad that you became our first signing of this summer to rejoin the Stingrays and once more wear that sweater. And it's gonna be your 5th year as a professional, all with the South Carolina Stingrays. So it's been pretty fun so far, I'd have to say.
Yeah, it's been a heck of a ride, and the opportunities that being down here has afforded me and my wife. We've really loved it down here in Charleston, and I feel so blessed and so lucky to be down here and be a part of this organization, the great people that surround it. And 5 years, 5 years. Looking back, it seems like it's really clicked by pretty quick. And if you would have told me when I first got down here, fresh-faced 25-year-old, that I was going to be down here when I was 29, then I probably would have told you were a liar. I thought 2 years, call it a day, whatever. But it's just one of those. It's one of those feelings that if you feel like you got the best job in the world and you're still able to produce and you're benefiting and making your team better, then I'm doing what I love down here and I love being here. So I still feel pretty young, and hopefully we got some juice left in the tank. I think that we'll be okay though.
You mentioned, of course, that you're one of the older guys, especially in this league that's been focusing more towards younger talent, and obviously the NHL is focusing that way as well, with speed and overall skill kind of taking over. There were a lot of rumors last summer about, is Nate Kaiser going to return? What's his status? And then heading into this summer, there was talk of the same thing about maybe Pierre-Luc O'Brien not coming back. What's his status? And you're right up there with those guys as far as that veteran leadership. How fast did you determine that you wanted to come back as a player rather than maybe being the next assistant coach?
Yeah. Well, I think for me, I've kind of crossed the threshold of putting a limit on when you call it a day. For me, it's more of, am I getting better? Am I producing? You don't want to be the guy who stayed on too long. And I enjoy what I do. I love what I do. And you talk to some of the older guys around the campfire when the season's over, and when you lose out in the first round, it stings, and you're looking down the barrel of a pretty long summer. And I think it took me, the second day after we lost out, we had our team meetings, and I talked to Cail and Carbs, and they had a pretty positive response. And I had said, listen, this is the way I feel. I wasn't happy with the way we finished. I thought we had a pretty good year. There was a few things maybe we could have done better, but it hurt, and I was ready to get revenge right there. And they said, we're positive about having you come back, and we let things die down a little bit as the summer moved into it, and had a few conversations with them and got some ideas going for contracts and what they were looking for in the upcoming season here. And for me, it was really a no-brainer. It didn't really take very long.
And it's kind of interesting how things panned out, especially for you and your teammate and another friend, Nate Kaiser, is that you guys are both older players. You've been in the system for a while, but you both had career years. Nate played the most games he's ever played in his hockey career and had one of the best years defensively for him, looking at the stats. And of course, for you set a career high in goals for yourself. So that was so that was kind of an exciting thing for you as well. What would you say would be kind of the key to that success and that longevity to be able to produce, even though you're looking at a younger league?
Well, yeah, I mean, the talent and the age level, obviously, you're running with the younger bucks and, draft picks and guys that they're trying to develop. I would say experience really goes a long way in this league. And, when you've learned not to get down on yourself when things aren't going well. If you haven't scored a goal in a few games, or it's been a couple of weeks since you put a point up, and you're starting to wonder, is it me? Am I doing something wrong? And you've learned over the last couple of seasons that you just stick to what you know works, that you don't have to change anything about your game. You know what's going to happen eventually, and you go on little bursts here and there. And I'm the type of guy that you know, let's face it, I'm not going to be scoring 50 goals in a season, so I don't have to worry about that. But at the same time, as long as I'm doing the things that I know I can do to contribute to my team, the points are going to come, and if they do or if they don't, that's reassuring to me, knowing that as long as I do my job, that I'm not expected to be the guy to put 50 points up on the board. So the rest is just icing on the cake.
Looking forward now to the 2011-12 season, obviously it's going to be a very exciting time. A lot of new faces are coming to the organization, and of course, you being the team captain, kind of looking ahead, you probably already have a message in mind or maybe a theme that you want to go with in the locker room, and that's probably helped out with your conversations with Spencer. But what are some of the focal points that you guys are really going to be looking at heading into this new year?
Well, I think that, you know, just in talking with Spencer, you know, not looking back at things that have been accomplished in the past, that's behind us, and all the respect in the world for everything that this organization has done. But it's time for us to look forward, and this year is a new season, and there's going to be new faces and you know, new management, the whole 9 yards, and it's time to get the job done. So we're you know, stepping up and looking forward at what we can do this year and what's ahead of us, and how we can get down the stretch and be successful in the playoffs is all that we really have in our minds.